Welcome and thank you for downloading the ProLandscape companion app for our ProLandscape software users. This is an overview of how to get started. First, make sure that your tablet is connected to Wi-Fi and that you have email set up. This is very important for the activation process. Once you have verified email and Wi-Fi access, in the top left corner, tap on the user account icon. The activation menu will come up. You will need to type in your first name and last name, your company name, and your software serial number. You should be able to locate the serial number in the email you received when you purchased our software. Once you have filled out the information, you will tap on the email activation request. Then tap on Send. In this case, I'm going to cancel because I don't want to send it. This will send an email to our support team to activate the app. Then they will send you a reply email back letting you know it has been activated. Go back to the user account icon. Now you can tap on the Activate ProLandscape companion. Then tap OK. Now the activation is complete. You can either tap on the side or the user account icon for the account menu to go away. Now over on the top right you have three icons. The first one is for email. The second one is to download the companion help file, which contains additional information on getting started. Make sure you read it. The third icon is for Dropbox. You must have an account in order to use Dropbox. It is not necessary to have an account, but can be useful in transferring files from your tablet to your computer or back to your tablet without the need to physically connect to your computer. Now bring your attention towards the bottom of the app. We have 4 pages available. Currently we are on the home page. Tap on the presentation page. Here you can see a list of PDF documents of projects you may have exported to PDF and are ready to present to your customer. Then we have the designs page. Here you will start your image design projects for your customers. You will see your projects listed as you create your designs. The last and final page is the plans page. You can do a small CAD design on site and then take it back to your office and then send the design to your computer to complete in the ProLandscape Planner program of our software. But for now, let's go back to designs. Now the first thing you'll do is over on the top right, you're going to tap on the plus sign. It's going to ask you to enter a name. I'm just going to call mine My Project as an example. Then I'm going to tap Create. Then it will give me two options. I can either choose a photo that I already have existing, or I can take a photo. In this case, I'm just going to go ahead and take a photo, choose a photo in this case. Then I'm going to select the photo I want to use from my list. And I'm going to tap on the one I want to select. That should make the picture my background image now for my project. Now over on the top right, we have 4 icons. The first one is the shovel. The second one is to save your design. The third one is to there is a couple of options with the third one. You can either print, copy, or save the image to your device. And then the question mark is simply the help desk file again. Or in this case, the companion help file. If we go back to the shovel, if you place your finger and kind of just hold it on the screen, you can actually scroll up and down to see additional options. Now the two most important options on this menu is going to be download the current image database. Now we do have a video showing you how to set that up. I've already set mine up. It's an important step that you watch the other video tutorial, because what you'll need to do is you'll need to create a favorites file. That favorites file is what we use for our database. Until you create that favorites file in Image Editor, which is our software on the computer, you will not be able to download the current image database. So it's important that you watch that video tutorial on how to set that up. I've already set mine up, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit download current image database. I'm just going to tap continue and then press OK so that it downloads the database. It's important that you're connected to Wi-Fi while you're doing this as well. I tap OK. Then if I go back to the shovel, I should be able to access the plant library by going to add image from library. From here I can search, or you can go to each category and check out whichever plants you want to take a look at or that you're going to add to the design. Say for example, if we go back and we go to shrub, we go to deciduous, and then you will see a list of plants. You can scroll on this list as well with your finger. Now say I wanted to add one of these plants to my design. I can simply go ahead and tap on one of them, and then it'll pop up a message here whether I want to add it. I'll go ahead and add. And then it's going to ask me if I want to add this to my favorites list, which I'll show you here in a minute. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say yes. And it's going to put a plant on my design. Now, when I was talking about the favorites list, I'm talking about over down on the bottom left corner here. You can see a list of favorites that have been added or things that I've added already to my list here. This way, I don't have to keep going back to the shovel and looking for those plants. I can simply drag and drop them onto the design. Now, if you pay close attention, you'll see that it has 4 vertice points, these green dots that you see on here. You can simply tap and hold and kind of drag to make it bigger or smaller for the plant image. You can also flip them. For example, over on the right, you have the two rectangles there. You can flip the item or object on the design. Same thing for the triangle up at the top. You can actually flip them. Now over on the left, if you notice, there is an additional toolbar there. Notice that if I tap off the plant, it goes away. So it's important to know, in order to get that toolbar, you must actually tap on one of the plants or objects that you're actually working with to get that additional toolbar. From here, you can actually pull the plant information if you wanted to. If you click on the eye and just tap to the side so it goes away, you can actually delete the item, hide it, lock it, and you can use a paver pattern, or in this case, just a pattern if you want to use it, which I will show you here shortly. You can also rotate it. It will give you a bar there that you can kind of drag across to depending on how you want to rotate the item. The second one is the tree icon, where you can duplicate it and make a second plant or object in this case. I'm going to go ahead and tap and delete that one, and tap and delete the second one. Now, most customers, they'll ask us, well, how do we add mulch, or how do we add grass, or you know, if you're doing a paver area. This technique works pretty much the same. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and drag this ground cover to the design. You'll have the same 4 vertice green points there. I'm going to expand it and make as big as that I need. Then over on the left in that toolbar where I was mentioning that pattern icon there in the middle, I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It will give you kind of a tip. In this case, I'm going to say OK. You can go ahead and read that later. I'm going to say OK. And then you notice that it will make it transparent. Now, there's a couple of things you can do. You can either click and then space your taps apart, or you can actually click your first point and drag your finger around the design. In this case, I'm going to space them apart. So if I click on my first point, you'll notice it does a big green point. And then I'm going to space my taps around the area that I want this mulch to show up in. Do my final tap. And then it's important to note that you must tap on the green icon, or I'm sorry, the green vertice to complete the area. Then I'll just say OK. And as you noticed, it placed that mulch in that area. Then I'm going to go ahead and place a couple of shrubs. So I'm going to just tap and drag this shrub, and then I'm going to kind of make it a little bit, I'm going to resize it here with the green vertice points, because you can do that with that. Now I can either drag another one, or I can just simply click on the little tree over on the left toolbar there to create two more. That way I don't have to resize it, and it just makes copies of it. And then I can just move them around in the design. Now once you're done, you can go ahead and hit save. It should save your design, and then you can go ahead and hit designs to go back to the designs page, and then you will see your project listed there. Now if you wanted to delete a design, you can simply tap on the garbage can button on the top left corner there. You will see a red circle there. You just simply tap on that, and then over on the right, you're going to tap on delete. In this case, I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to go ahead and say done. And that's pretty much all there is to it on how to get started with the Pro Landscape Companion app.